So, welcome guys on the third session. I hope everybody enjoyed the last sessions and learned as well something from it. I hope it was useful for everyone. And today I want to recap a little bit of those sessions just to refresh it a little bit. I'm not gonna go deep dive into it yet. Later on we will come back to it and do more basic stuffs over and over again. Then it's for everyone clear that everybody can do their own trading from it and everybody is more confident in it, right? So for now, I just want to start with just want to say respect trading rules. You will hear it a lot from me, from different kind of mentors. Why? Because it's important. You cannot go against the rules. It never works. It never will work, and you will maybe once it will make you a bit money, but eventually that's a lucky guess, like with gambling. But after all, respect them. It's the most important thing. If you respect the rules, the trading will respect you. You will make money, and eventually you will become better in it. That's the goal of it. So just to go over what we did, that's this. We have our roadmap, like we spoke about it, what we're gonna do in the future and in the days, what we're gonna stream. If you have any ideas, any topics, just please DM me, ask me, and I will add them to the list or to the daily basis, what we're gonna do right now. Um, all over again, back to basics means clean your mind, clean your chart, no indicators. It's not necessary for them right now, just for to begin to understand the whole basics of the structure of the market and trading. Uh, Follow the trend, find the trend, see the trend. Same with the structure. Recognize swing points, planning and trading your execution of your trades. So that's the basics. And today I want to focus later on a little bit more on lose or gain levels. How do we see them? How do we know that they are there? And how do we trade from there? So this is a little bit the plan for today. Finally, I have a little bit more time as well for the streaming. So there is no one straight behind me or after me from the mentor. So we have some more space to talk about it after the stream to do some Q&A maybe if there is necessary for it. Anyway, this is the plan for today. Let's go and do some recap on it. Right now, and for like already a couple months, we are in the range. It's a really big range for our range or daily range, how you want to see it. But I'm most of the times I'm on the 4 hours, so this is the range. And right now, where we are actually exact in the middle of it. So we know that we are in the range. That's already 90% of the market and trading sessions, so it's always going to be almost in the range. Then, besides that, we know that this is our low, this is our high, this is our higher low, lower high, sorry, lower high. I need to get used to it, lower high. And actually, everything what happened over here behind us doesn't actually matter anymore because we broke both of those structures, but we still keep the range. Yeah, sorry, high low was correct. Yeah, sorry, I had just a phone call in different language, so I need to switch. My mind is still confused a little bit. Anyway, so this we not much looking at it for now. We are focusing on this structure right now. So we know that those are our highs, lows, and we are right now middling, right? What are we looking for? Just to recap actually what we spoke about it, we are looking to have a movement in a direction because right now, like always in the middle, there are three ways. There are three ways what we're gonna move. It's up, down, or sideways. Sideways you don't want. It's only up and down. So we still don't know where we're gonna go. How are we gonna determine that? Which direction we go? So we are traders. We are not gamblers. We are not gambling on it. We're never gonna do that. And if you're gonna put a trade over here in any kind of direction without even recognizing the way, pattern, structure, or levels, then you are gambling. We're never gonna do that. If you want to do that, just go to the casino and do your thing over here. There. Over here, first thing first, before you even take a trade, you want to recognize, see, and make sure that the market is going in your direction. Right? On the 4 hours right now, what do we see? Sideways, right? We make some movement up and down, but we're still coming back into the middle line and nothing much happened. So what do you want to see? You want to see break of any kind of structure, level, and direction. Let me have a sip, my matcha. So on 4 hours, it's a little bit hard to see, but then what you want to do to break your brain a little bit more, we're going to my favorite view, and that's the bodies only, right? Because the wicks, what do the wicks mean actually? Um, that's the wrong one. I want this. Wicks indicators are the price where it went. So this is the lowest what the price went. Yes, you can for sure do something like that, that you know that, all right, this is the level that we've been on this movement to the downside, and from there we went up. But what the most important is are the bodies. For me, I'm using the wicks for only two things. Like I said, to see where the price went as maximum on the movement and to pull the fibs. The fibs are always pulled from the wicks, never from the bodies. All right, so those wicks are using for two things only. So that's why right now I don't need them. So we can switch them off. You can keep the line just to know, like, all right, there we've been. Then right now on the 4 hour, it's the most important level what you want to keep an eye on it before going in any kind of direction is this low of this candle, where we actually constantly bouncing from it. And to be honest, this is your first indication of any kind of movement to the upside. Yet we don't know how we're gonna know that. That means we need to gain it or lose it. When we speak about gaining or losing levels, it means always closing above or below a specific level and holding it. Sometimes, not really sometimes, but most of the times as well, we have sneaky closes. That means that market makers are pushing a little bit higher than the level is, close above that, and then the next candle reverses straight ahead on you. That means a sneaky close. So you always want the confirmation on the candle how that's going to behave. Always the second candle on the next one. So those are the two important locally levels right now to see in which kind of direction the price is going. So right now, are you gonna willing to trade and take this trade in any kind of direction? Yes or no? No, because you still don't know in which particular direction you go, right? You don't have the confirmation on it. I mean, we are not gambling, we are trading. So let's behave like a traders as well and think like them. Again, sip. I had a heavy night, so what you want to see in any kind of direction is candle to the downside or to the upside, right? Close underneath, so the body closes, doesn't matter how far the wicket goes, close underneath the lowest level on your local structure, and then wait for the next one, next candle, and see if you're gonna have, for example, like we always want to see, bearish or bullish retest of it. So that means the second candle is gonna open, right? We come back, we go up, and then eventually this is your level what we broke. You retest this, and then you have the continuation. If not, happens as well, of course. If not, you go up, you close above, and then you retest the close what you above the level, and then you have the continuation. So this is the area what you want, and this is the area what you want to take the trade. Nothing in here actually, because you always gonna look for the confirmation. Without that, you are not able to take any kind of trade because you don't know in which direction it's gonna go, and then you're going back to the gambling area again, and we don't do that. So yes, this is boring to wait for it in any kind of way, and to stare and to wait for any kind of movement of it. It is, I know. But then again, that's why we have the alert section. So you have your levels over here, you have your levels over here marked. Put alert on it. Let's say break above or below. Look for the short or long, and then come back. Have a notification on your phone or your email or how you want it to be notified about it, and then come back to it and try to find or see the confirmation of the breakout of the structure and then take the trade, right? You like the boring movements? Yes, quite good. And especially right now, in this kind of situation, when you have this movement, right, the boring one and not much happening, is the time to prepare yourself. Like set the levels, see how far, how low, or how high we can go when we break out from it, where it's going to be the next move, where it's going to be my stop loss, for example. Look for that area where you're going to take the trade. So now it's the time to plan, right? Exactly. This gives you room to think about what's going to happen. You don't need to wait every single candle what's open and then look at it. No, just plan around this area because right now is the time. When we start moving like this, then you are too late with planning already to do any kind of action on it because we are moving and we are moving drastic, like really aggressive as well. So now is the time to plan. And always that's why I like middle of the range because it's always boring, quiet, and not much happening till you see any kind of movements or any kind of direction confirmation. I like that for myself as well because then I can take time to prepare my stuff and think about it like, all right, what's gonna happen? Like in which direction we might go, or even to talk to people, about it, or in the group or in the Discord. There is always a time for it to do this kind of things. And right now, this is the moment, right? So this is you local. And then when you want to see like, all right, so I know already which bodies or which structure we need to break for a direction to confirm and which way we're gonna go, then I want to know where do we stop or where we might have a reversal or any kind of reaction on the movement to that direction. So then you go back in your history. So this is what happened already in the history, right? And you mark those levels. So, okay, when you break to the downside and we retest bearish and we will have the continuation to the downside, is there an area where we might stop, reverse, or take a profit on it? That's the most important thing. Take your profits and mark those levels as well. Yes, they are, of course, because they're always going to be a history on your chart. So to the downside, for example, this is a level where we bounced from it and we went straight up in really aggressive movement, right? So this is really important area as well, and the low of it. So this, I don't know if you remember what Viking said. For him, is this the low because of this the movement, and this is the high. I understand it. Why he thinks that? Because when you reverse it, this is the high, this is the low for him. It's a way of doing it. It doesn't matter which you mark as high or low. the most important is are the candles and the levels right. That's the most important. If that's the high for you and that's the low, fine with me, or vice versa, that's fine with me as well, right? So what I have already set up my uh, toolbar, and then I have my saved presets on them as well. So for me, it's I mark the level, I go over here, and then it's this my 4-hour high, and this is my 4-hour low, right? That's what I'm doing. If you want to do it differently, fine by me. Like you hear as well, Viking did it opposite side, but that's just how he thinks because this movement comes from top to the bottom, and then this is the high from him, and this is the low. You can do it as well like that. It's up to you how you do it. For me personally, I read the charts from top to the bottom. So then it's this my high, this is my high of the candle, this is my low. It's just how your brain works, how you want to see it. It's up to you. So it doesn't matter. But then let's come back to it. This is the stop area where we might have any kind of reversal, take profits, or even we gonna try to break this and go to the lower than that. Why? I will tell you that later on a little bit because right now we're focusing on the levels what we are interested in. Then, of course, this is your previous high, just because we broke the structure over here, right? This was the brokerage of this structure already on the lower time frame, of course. So this is the area as well what you're interesting if you're gonna break out to the upside. Sorry, a little sip to the upside. So this might be as well. You're a little bit reversal on it. Take profit, of course, and let's see if we gonna be strong enough to break it and go higher than we used to be, right? And then one more, that's what we can do as well because that's important. You never know when it's gonna be handy. So then you mark your previous high, this is your previous high, this is your higher low, and then I will mark this one as well because that was your break structure. You came back, yeah, this one is as well important on the low time frame. So there you have it. Locally, you plan your ways in both ways already, right? So we have upside and to the downside, right? The sideways, I don't care a little bit about it. I don't plan that out because that's always sideways. It's can do like cheeky stuff. Do you see any kind of direction on it? But the most important is gain and loss. So how do we gonna determine any gain or loss? Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, we know that this is our low from this area, right? The lowest part. Then we just give me a second to mute some people. Yeah, make sure you are muted, guys, if you jump in. Thank you. And then, so you know that this is your low area. The lowest what you, when you're gonna losing this part and you gain and retest it, then we go over here. How are we gonna do that? Simple. You go with your candle down. You are closing above this area, underneath this area. You close your candle over here. Then with the next candle, you want to see a back test of this swing, what you did over here. So that means closing as well underneath. You can go with the wick as well above it, but then the close on the second candle is underneath. Then you have 90% already the chance that you're going lower because you're failing this structure. Failing means you are too weak to gain it back and go higher. That means failing the structure in most easy perspective then, let's say, right? think about it like a game or something like that. You need to be stronger to become stronger to gain this level and go higher. And if you are weaker, you go to the downside. That's how you can see it. That's what means gain and losing level. What we're gonna talk about it in different sessions, or when you hear Viking talking about it, that's what we want to see. You want to see the failure. So that means you're not going right now into the trade, right? Short or long. You just wait for this candle to go underneath, close underneath this level. So that means your body close, it's lower than this area, right? Then the next candle open up. It always retrace a little bit back because on the lower time frame, you going to retest the previous high or on the previous break of structure. So that's this, and even a little bit higher as well on this candle. And then when it retraces back and close up below this line or this level, what we already said, then you have confirmation that this move is weak and it's falling down to the lower level. Let's see what's does it always retrace or retest? What? Not always. It doesn't mean it's always gonna retest or retrace or when you're gonna have breakage. For example, let me have a look. I had. Oh no. Let's switch the wicks on, and then you see on the wicks that was your retrace, backtest, and close below again. See, it was a small one. It didn't retrace fully to the previous swing, and it fell down. So that already says how weak this move was, right? So you need to keep in mind like how far you go. But that's on the lower time frame. You can see it much better. I will go it later on it as well. I will keep the wicks for now. So switching off the wicks, it makes easier to see the bodies, and then you will actually automatically see like which levels are important for you. Because wicks, that's a confusion, right? You see this, then you think like, oh, we need to go below this, for example, to go lower. But already you did the move. So that's what makes it confused most of the times. So that's why wicks are for two things only, and the rest I don't care about the wicks. So that's why I'm switching them off in the settings, and you can see the body clearly. But then eventually you can see the whole structure of the market because with the wicks you have a lot of noise, like over here. It's a lot of noise. But then when you switch them off, then you think like that's actually not that bad, right? So that's why wicks makes you a little bit more confusing. But this is like the structure of the whole market was. We went down. What did we do? We broke this whole down structure. We went lower. Then what? And now you see the whole retracement and backtest of the swing. We came up. We didn't gain this level even, and not even close to that one. And what did we do? We dump it again. So just to make it more clear for you guys, when you was over here, the most important level was this, and of course later on this one. But then think about it like you are in the sideways over here. You still don't know which way you are, right? Which way you go and which way you're gonna trade. So then you're gonna do it exactly the same what we just did. You're gonna plan it like in this lower time frame. Good backtest. I will come back to that one. Firewood. I will come back to that one. Then you're gonna see like, all right, what matters over here? You had this level and this level matters, but then eventually you nuke it through. But in normally maybe perspective, you will go a little bit slower on that one. You will lose this level, come back to it, and then nuke from it eventually. But you can see like what happens in the whole perspective for our structure. We nuked it. We create a lower low from the whole structure what we just created over here, right? So then you don't short this. What do? You wait for the whole backtest of this dump, if this is true. Because even then, if we create a lower low, we still can come over here and make a higher high. It doesn't matter. It depends how strong the buyback from here was, right? And in which correlation of the market you want to go. But then this could be the full shakeout, buy here, and then we could go higher. But we didn't. Why? We, like I said, that was the pullback. Always happened with the big losses of the structures. It always will happen. Why? We need to have tests because even we came here, we still don't know if this is gonna be the lower low or we go even lower than we predicted. Like so, when we're gonna know that this is your low low to create a higher low, right? So this is the highest of the lowest high of this previous swing. Then you know that this is your lower low. And then from here, the only thing what you want to see from this swing, you want to know like, all right, are we gonna gain this or are we gonna lose this level? So far, we are losing. So this is a second lower low from the previous low. And right now, well, what do? We came up, not even close to gain anything specific than only the dailies or the weeklies or the monthlies levels. So the structure wise, we didn't gain anything with this aggressive move. And right now we're failing it. So now you want to see if this level, this particular level and this structure gonna hold this down movement. And eventually then what you're gonna want to see is something like that. So then you have your lower low, right? Lower low. And then you have your lower high, and the higher structure from the previous low. That's what matters. Then and only then you can see when we're gonna be higher with the price somewhere over here. Then you know, like, all right, so we create some different structure that we already had 3 times to the downside, and we might have lower high. What did I say, Orca? Right, anyway. So then you go to the upside and then you know that this movement, sorry, lower high, I mean. Shit, I'm so confused today. Oh, rough night. Excuse me. So when you go to the upside and you start gaining this level, then you start to change your structure, right? And you might say we go to the upside. Okay, I hope that was a little bit clear about the structures and gaining. So now, what we are doing for now, in this candle on 4 hour, we are losing this level, right? We are still losing. It doesn't mean that that this is going to be confirmed right now because we still have 2.5 hour on 4 hour in 4 hour. You have still 2.5 hour for this candle to close. So that's going to be taking a while. But yeah, this is already an indication that there is a pressure to the downside, right? Means we're going to take out the liquidity over here and let's see how big or how strong is going to be the buyback of it. So let's say we're gonna close here. So we're gonna have a wick and we're gonna close over here and we create a new candle. So then and only then you know we lost this structure and as well this level because we closed below. We make the new low on the body. Then only you wait for the new candle to appear. That one's gonna go for sure a little bit to the upside to take out the stop losses where they are over created with this move, any kind of trades. So they're gonna try to stop them, and then you want to see, all right, are we gonna close above or below? You don't want to see actually below it because we already broke the structure. So we're gonna come back and you might have a fake out. When we're gonna close below this line, then you have your confirmation to go to the downside. Make that a little bit sense? Is this like can you guys visualize this? What I mean? So yeah, if you want to follow any kind of indicators with this in this area, yeah, they are good, of course, to look at them, but they are just like for the confirmation of the movement. I mean, yeah, on 4 hours it's taking a little bit longer, but then what you can do, of course, is go to 1 hour, and in 4 hours you have 4 hour one candles, right? So you have a little bit more confirmation. When, for example, right now the 1 hour candle is gonna pop up, and you see some closes, like already one and two, and on the fourth three, and the fourth one's gonna be somewhere here. Then you have already like, yeah, we might have a confirmation to the downside a little bit on 1 hour, and then you go to 4 hour and you see like, all right, 4 hour close somewhere here, averaging, and then yeah, that's how you can check the time frames as well, the lower time frames. Use them for it, right? So yeah, that can take a little bit, but and that's always gonna take a little bit more time because we are in the middle of the whole structure movement, right? I am now a little bit lower than the middle, but we used to be over here, so that was already like waiting game. But now, you know, and actually you can see as well that this move might continue, right? Because there is not when you go back in your history over here, so you know that, for example, over here you have let's do that a little bit better. There is a candle, right? And over here, technically, this is your fair value gap as well. And because this of the wick, we've been there, so we close that one. There is nothing else to stop us anymore here. So when we're gonna start closing underneath here, so there is a chance that we're gonna go over here and test the high of the previous swing, previous low swing. So this is the previous low swing. That's why it's always the history of your chart is always important. That's the most important what you can have. That's your knowledge. That's your information. That's your indication where we can go. So use that. Use that as much as possible because there is nothing over here. So you don't know where we go. You know only where we've been or we might try to go again. Why? Because there is liquidity. Yeah, it's kind of like breadcrumbs. Yeah, yeah, like that. In all of the movements, we left the breadcrumbs, and those are the liquidity over here and on the downside, and that's why we following the money. That's your breadcrumbs. Okay, so now let's reach the wicks off. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit confusing maybe for everyone to see it. So now we start today the session, and there was some people over here already saying that they are confusing. And I said I will come back to that because that's as well like a little bit important to understand and to think about it. Because in my way of trading and what I always saw, like what people thinking on which kind of price action, it's really interesting. So let's make this a little bit interesting. Let's close this. let's show you something. This was your high, this is your low. After that, I will show you something as well with the fibs, but I want to range. This is quite funny actually for me to see how people react. And actually in the range you can see it very clearly. What you can see all of the time, doesn't matter which area you go with the price, it's this area and this area, it's important, and this area is important. So for me, I already know what people gonna think where. Here and here, the up and the bottom, the top and the bottom actually, it's panic. It's panic. It's a lot of screaming, like, yeah, we go to all-time high and whatever, and long, long, long because we're gonna break out. Here, exact the same to the bottom. More panic even over here because then the alts are going as well, twice as hard as the Bitcoin. So then you have like a lot of panic over here, and literally like pain panic over here, and over here people are confused. This is how I see range. Exactly in those moments, I know the emotions of people already. Because here you should be in a long or a short, and exactly the same here. But those areas are literally flip all day, every day, legend, easy money. Yeah, exactly, exactly, Sam. So here's going to be a panic of breakout an all-time high, and we go to 200K or whatever. People are gonna scream, and here gonna people are gonna scream and cry about it, about the alts, and everything's going to the zero. And here is confusion. This is how range work. You can see about emotions of people in which kind of area of range you are. That's how I see it actually. But it's funny to recognize that as well. This is not much the important, the bottom and the top one. The most important is right now this, the confusion. Why we are confused? Because we don't know anything, right? You don't know which way you are. Are you going to the upside? You're going to the downside. You don't know. And market makers, believe me, they will make you more and more and more and more confused over here because they want to trap you in both ways. And then on the end of the move, they're gonna decide which direction they're gonna go. That's how it works. That's why everyone is always confused here. How you gonna overcome it? Like we said, watch the market very closely. And by that I mean go back to the basics. Did we close anything below or above it? Did we lost something? Are we gaining any kind of level, any kind of indication, any kind of small movement? It will decide the prediction where we go later on. Like right now, for example. Are you gonna long this? Or are you gonna wait to confirm it if we're gonna break out of this kind of small range, right? With the back test and then continuation. So that's what you're waiting for. And believe me, I think it's 10% you taking you trade, 10% is analyzing it, and 80% is waiting game. Only waiting. It's the most boring thing what you can do or imagine, but it is what it is. And you're gonna always wait. When you're gonna wait for it, do your TA, PA, and look at the market. Just inform yourself like, is it correct? It's not. Make sure you are on the same page, like maybe the rest of your group, people, friends, or with you trading with, ask about it, watch the streams or any kind of mentorships, and make sure you are correct with the things what you're seeing on the chart, because that's the most important, right? Don't you ever trade against it or like or don't become try to become a smart guy in the group and say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna short this with 100x and or long this with 100x. Why? Why don't you do that? And if you want to put the trade in it, right? For example, you said to yourself like, all right, I want to short this. Oh, Well, okay, I really don't understand why this is doing all the time those kind of things. But anyway, so you're gonna put the short on here. Then ask yourself, why? Why would you do that right now? Are you sure you want to short this, or you want to wait for the confirmation for the back test and then short it, right? Just to be safe. So that's a little bit on my range emotions from people. I can read them a little bit better than. But then you have your levels. We set them. We know that they are correct. Let's say like they are over here. Yeah, we know they are correct, and we know we are losing something. So I want, for example, a second confirmation that we're gonna go there or there, and how deep or how far and where exactly we might stop. Though, because we can go even lower or higher over the 4 hour higher swings, so they are not like exact to the point like where we're gonna stop. It's just confirmation of the history. But now we're gonna use a tool, and that's from Trader Stu. Those are the FIPS, Stu FIPS, the the one and only one. And now we are gonna use the wicks. You always want to use the wicks to the down and to the top side because that's where the price went, and that's the most important one. So, okay, let's say we had, for example, we've been here, right? We've been to the downside, and now we carry on to the upside. And you want to know, right? Okay, I want to short when we're gonna break out of the structure. This was your breakout. We close above. That's your breakout. Breakout doesn't mean wicks only. You need to close any kind of body above the previous high or low. Then you have knowledge of confirmation that you broke previous structure. You broke it to the upside, right? So what you do then? You had eventually you had here your high. There was your low. So when we're gonna be here, and you want to know like, okay, how high we're gonna go because we broke the structure over here as well to the downside. Then you pull the fibs. You can use your magnet to the wick, pull them to the lowest point you chart. The dump was saying we are going to the down hard. There's something in the chart that would be visible that makes you understand why it reversed. All right, I'm gonna have a look on the 28th of January, right? I'm gonna have a look in a second. And there it is. There is your confirmation that look how the price action was exactly inside the box, how volatile it was. Yeah, we broke up above it, above the stupefib, but still we came constantly back to it. That means that this is your magnet. And how many times you came back to it, that doesn't matter. It's when you start to losing things. And we did. Where did we do that? This was your high. This was your high, right? The high is high from the whole structure. When we came in, we went down. We didn't lose the structure. Yeah, in that moment, we create another higher movement of previous swing. So we went up, but then here starts the reversal on it. Now you are confirmed that we go lower than the previous high. So look where we closed when we draw the 4 hour swings. It was this what we call the sneaky close. We close above, we open new wick, and we go straight back. That means that it's a fake out. They want to fake you out. But still, when you're gonna be careful with it and you're gonna see them, then you will understand them like not to trade on only closes and breakouts. And we come back again. We still didn't break the structure to the downside, and then this gets interesting because here we had a lot of wicks, and this gives you as well information that there is a lot of sellers. right? The pressure from the top to the downside, it's bigger than it was over here already. So they want to keep the price underneath the previous high. So there you go. You had already this could be your entry, but then you could be wigged out when you're not gonna have the sort of, for example, above this swing. But then even then, you could re-enter over here and look what you had for a swing. And even then, you came back at exact the same level what we draw over here, and we still failed it. So you can already imagine how much pressure to the downside is here on this area, right? I hope that makes sense. So that's how, and that's why the FIPS works, because you can see clearly where the pressure is and where we go with the swing. So for example, right now, still same area. Uh, this you low, this you high, this you high, high, right? Still, we didn't break out to the upside, so this is still relevant. And even a little bit lower over here because we didn't break this structure, we still have here some resistance. So we could have some front running of this level as well when we come back to it. Depends how strong and volatile is going to be the move. But still, this is valid till, till you're not going to break out from it. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Break out from it. You're going to come somewhere over here, close your wicks or your bodies higher, and then eventually you're going to come back, create another lower high, and then you have the continuation, and we go to the moon. Figure of speech. Okay, makes sense. So we have already like 3, 4 confirmations in the movements and where we could go. Okay. Let me have a look in the chat. Well, we got some questions on it. 28th of January. 28th of January. Round top on the 4-hour chart. Okay, somebody asked me to look at it at this price action. You mean this area, Saib? This area, right? Yeah. So what you want to know about it? And that's what Dump was talking about going down. Oh, no.
Maybe I
Okay.
should just talk for a
Yeah,
second.
sure. Go ahead.
The, so above there, at the 102, 103 mark, that rounding sort of section, yeah, right there, and then it dropped, and that's the area when that night when Dumpu was talking about going really far down. But then it reversed right where you are there, and I'm wondering if what would let us know
Yeah,
that because it switched so fast that I was caught off
exactly.
guard listening to Dumpu.
Yeah, okay. So you're right. And Dampu as well, he was right on this move that we, for 99%, we will have that movement to the downside because it was really aggressive. True. But like he said, even he can get caught off guard and get, yeah, not really manipulated, but more like overseas. So the expectation was to go to the downside. Yes, but still, what do you want to see? this. If you're gonna close or break below this level, right? This previous swing, because this is your swing to the what took you to the upside, right? This you low, this you high. Okay. On 1 hour maybe it's gonna be much better, but still 4 hours much cleaner. So you want to see when you're gonna have any kind of direction movements like this, round bottoming and coming close, you really want to see going underneath and closing underneath this structure. Especially would be really better to have it over here and then ideally over here underneath. Then you have your confirmation. But what they did is this is not really the manipulation, but like faking it out, right? So they stop it, they push it to the downside, and then said, hey, nope, over here I want to test it, and then we're gonna dump. Because for you need to imagine that 80% people went short over here without most of the times knowing that we're gonna go lower because you didn't have the confirmation yet. We didn't broke this structure. We had a big, massive upside movement with these candles, 3 candles, right? Probabilities and stop loss. Yeah, exactly. Eve. So you had this big movement and they stopped it, right? And then again, movement to the downside. But where did we go? You need to ask yourself, is this the area where we want to short it? No. Does something confirm it for you that we're gonna go lower? Not yet. And yeah, Dampu was right that we might have the bigger and stronger because it was failing to gain anything from here. And you see, so the round bottoming, but this is as well like playful way of market make say like no, F you, and we will go higher eventually. So what they did is took the all stop loss over here and liquidation all of the people that shorted over here. That's why. That's why you want to see. That's why you go always to the history of your chart and then you say like, okay, yes, we are going to the downside, but what I want to see is any close underneath this level, ideally lower, yeah, and then confirmation of any kind of backtesting and retest of the bearish close. That's what you want to see. And then you might speak, all right, I might have take a scalp short on it. If not, right, then it's the second option already when we go through because it's always more than only one option in your trading and what you want to look for it. If not, what do I want to see? Because you have the movement to the upside, right, already. Over here, you change your over here you change your structure in it and change of structure and break of character, right, on the smaller time frame. So what you want to see is like, okay, for example, if I'm not going to take it over here and we might go higher or over here, when we go higher, what you want to see? Gain or lose this or this level. And that's the same level like already here. That's why I mark it over here because it's 3 times correct. So this and this level are the most important when you want to see any failure. And what did we have? We had a failure over this level. We didn't gain it. We may went with the wicks higher, but we closed it underneath. We failed it. Then, and that's the most funny thing as well, on the lower time frame, we didn't even go higher than the previous swing low on the lower time frame on this area. So you had already, from this point of view, one confirmation that gonna fail this. Then you failed it. You came back, retested. This is a perfect way of seeing how the retest works. So we came up, we retested, said nope, and look what we did, and then carry on. Does it make a little bit sense? Do you guys understand this? And Saib, is it clear why we did this? See, we had the movement to the downside over here with the wick. Yeah, so imagine that this was your full body, and then you wait. Where are we gonna close it? You wait till the 4 hour is finished. It closed over here. Then we said, Okay, so we might not go to the downside. If this candle not gonna continue to the over here and then see some movement to the downside for it. And we didn't. Look, the candle didn't even flinch to the downside. We don't see any wick. So so nicely. This you really want to follow the market. Okay, you when I'm explaining it's easy. So let's go back. Uh, if you are not convinced to plot the levels or any kind of yep, jam music playing. Yeah, exactly. I always imagine that when when that happens. Yeah. I agree with you, Smyrn. Um, so guys, don't think that when I'm gonna explain you this, that you're gonna remember it and you're gonna see it and you're gonna know it. The only thing to become better in plotting those levels, setting them, and making sure that they are right, it's just by doing it by yourself. You really need to take the time for it and to do it. Go back. For example, the best thing what you can do, um, just to train your brain, you memory muscles as well. Go back in the time with replay button, right? Somewhere back in the chart, like even years ago. Doesn't matter. It always will work. Go, set it, and start plotting them. Like right now, where are we? Okay, this is might be your high. Oh shit, we broke the structure over here because we broke this level over here, right? This was your high, this was your low, we broke it. Where we go next? What's the low point where we really could go? Is this. What did we test? You know, the wicks. Did we test it? Yes. This level has been tested. This area has been tested. This been tested. We've been there with the wick. What's left? This, right? So let's say this level is it's been tested. Okay, play. Oh shit! Look at that. Look at this. And look at the buyback on it. That's the only way how you can learn yourself doing this and take the time for it. Watch, even if you want, watch back my videos. They're gonna be uploaded. Watch Smilio's explanations as well. Even Vikings videos on the dashboard of the MDX. Literally, what we are plotting, and especially what Viking is doing every single day on the market news event, he always have those lines, always have those levels, and even then he's showing you which way we might go, right? In which direction, if we gain this level, what's gonna happen next? He's showing you right there. Take it over, copy paste it, and then draw it by yourself and see like, all right, do I understand this? Why we go there? What's happened? Well, we're gonna go here. You know, like what do we need to do to become trading in lower price or higher price or a mid price or whatever? We need to gain or lose it. That's always. It's always gonna stay and it's always gonna be in the market the same. This not gonna never gonna change because that's your kind of the first direction area where something's gonna happen and why something's happening and where we will go eventually. You need to lose and gain something. Does it make sense? But like I said as well, go back in the time, different kind of chart, even take different kind of ticker. Take a alt. They are really hard movement and they are going quicker than Bitcoin, but still you can do it every single chart what you want. And doesn't matter if it's crypto or forex or whatever. It works. Why? Because are the rules of the market. That's why you need to do it. You need to do it by yourself. I needed to do it by myself as well till the day that I right now see them as well without plotting them. And I went as well through the market and plot them and write them down and check them by somebody else. I send it as well to Viking or to Smile, like, is this correct? Do I see it right? And not only me, but everybody have the moment of doubt as well. Like, is this correct? Do I see it right? Just check with somebody else. Talk. Like, ask us on the chat or in the voice chat. Like, can we talk about this price action? Why does it behave like that? I don't understand it, and we will break it down for you. For example, that's what we are here. When you're gonna talk about something with people who are on, let's say, on the same level with you, but as well, like, not going against, or like not like they have any kind of knowledge, talk with them. It will help you much more than you even think. And don't be shy, please. There are no stupid questions. No way. Even if you ask them 100 times the same question, I don't care. I will explain you 100 times as well the same thing, and eventually it will click. It always clicks. It maybe takes a little bit more time with some of the people, but still, it doesn't matter. It will click. And believe me, you don't need to follow exact the same ways what we are doing, but take some of it to your own strategy and make it your own. Then you will be much more understandable, like what's going on in the system and in the market. But it will be your own, and it will be like something like a proud moment as well when it clicks. I know you are. I know, and that's why it's good. That's why you should. And don't think like you're gonna ask stupid question of anything. No, there are no. Believe me, we are here to help you guys, and that's our dual and goal and our way of, yeah, showing you it. We are here to you for you guys. Yeah, exactly, Sam. Exactly. I agree. So, yeah, does that make any sense? Is it clear what you need to gain, what you need to hold, and where the price action is going, and how it behaves, and why the levels are important, and your second confirmation with the fibs even. And then the third one, of course, are the indicators, especially the AI charting tools. Guys, I cannot stretch enough how important is this simple tool. It's the most important thing what you have as an indicator. And believe me, it sounds maybe let me switch off the levels so it's gonna be clear. It sounds maybe stupid and not much on the screen what we are used to, with like a lot of colors and lines and whatever with the indicators. Even then, this is what you need. There is nothing else what you need, because already when you already train your brain, right, knowing and seeing the levels, right? Whoa. Right now, what you see, we gain, we close above the yearly Q1 and in January, right? And what did we do? We failed twice February. So, where do we go? We failed those ones straight ahead because those are the dailies. Then we backtest them. See, we go lower. We backtest the December. Now we are middling and trying to find our way. So what we have over here, daily and weekly. We fail the weekly, where do we go? Again, to the December. But we've been there already. Remember? Not so long ago. We've been there. Are we gonna hold it? I doubt it. So if not, you will have maybe a small bounce from it, and then another one. Again, yearly. But if we're gonna hold it, that means we need to close above this level, this candle. Then there is a potential to go much higher, because the strength is already show you that we close above it, not below. We are not weak, we are strong in this move, right? One indicator says all. The most important one. There is nothing else is important. And then to add up to it, you have your highs and lows plotted on it. And yeah, it takes time because it's calculated in percentage of the candles. So this one will come up when we're gonna be somewhere, I guess, over here or somewhere over here. But then, even then, you still see it happening, right? Okay, for now, on this session, I'm gonna end up my recording, but I will stay in the voice chat for some Q&A and just chill talk. All right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you want to talk about something else or any kind of issues, problems, or if you want to understand any kind of indicators, structure, rules, any kind of thing which you really struggle or want to know more about it, please DM me, let me know, and I will have a time for it. All right? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. See you next time.